Alright, so I'm going to do a little demo on how to create smoke. So what I'm going to do here is it's just going to be smoke sort of traveling upward, and I'm going to be using a brush tool and the onion skin tool. So I just turned on my onion skin and I'm using my brush, and I'm using a gray color. And just sort of like the fire, you sort of just kind of something like that. And I'll go for about 12 frames. I'm going to create another smoke way over here on frame 12, and something like that. And I'll go one out here to like frame 24, and on the 20, actually I'm going to copy my first frame, and on frame 25 I'm going to paste that frame so I can animate right back into it. So from here, I don't know if I'll need all these frames yet, but I'm just going to include them for now. I can always remove any frames that I don't need later. So there we go. That's a little bit better. Alright, so I'm just going to keep pushing forward here. Lighter one, darker one. And I'm sort of just going through here, following my original reference. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it sort of animate into the next one. Alrighty. Okay, go ahead. I'm still just continuing. Okay. Start to pull this out a little bit more. Through, and it's really fluid. Make sure you play it back. Okay. So this little bump right here, I'm gonna need to start working a little bit more towards. Okay. So, and I think I'm just going to remove this one last one. I don't think I'm going to need it. I want to play it back. Something like that. And I want it to loop. So I could just have something, on fire, letting off smoke, a chimney, for instance. Just a fluid, animated loop cycle in the background of something where I only have to do this once and it'll just play throughout the entire piece. And I want to get it to be a nice clean loop, so this way I don't want it to look like it's looping right off the bat. I want it to take a minute. If you'd have to really be looking for it to be like that. So just like the Fire Lab demo that I have posted before, we're just going to start animating back into the original shape. Okay. And the lighter color, gray, in this case on the onion skin, is the previous frame here, and the darker one is the next frame. So give you an idea how that works. And I'm just going to use as many frames as I need to get it back to animate into the original shape. All right. Okay, looks like I'm almost there. maybe one more here. Okay. And I'm going to try and see if this works just the way it is. I'm going to hit Command Return. And what I need to do is I need to get rid of the very last frame as well. Something like that. Now that I've got the basic line work in there, I'm going to go ahead and fill them in. I'm going to turn off onion skinning for now. Alrighty. Okay, so now it's something like that. And now what I could do, it's loops, so it could be a little bit slower, so I could add in a few more in-betweens or something, but other than that, because smoke can travel, depending on how fast something is burning, the smoke can be really slow. It could be fast, really depends. And the other thing about smoke is that the lighting, it sort of lights itself, so you might want to go in and do pass on just basic lighting all the way through. It sort of travels and animates with it. And this is just basically a rough pass on this. I'm gonna do some of these here, like so, traveling upward, and all right. Going through and just doing highlights, that's all. And now, actually I should have brought this one higher. just going through and almost done here. And I'm gonna go through and just sort of alright, so now I've done the highlights. It's something like so. Looping, of course, and now I'll go through and do a low shadow type with a darker color. Okay, so I'm just going to simply sort of put this on a new layer. And go through and animate the shadows here. It's just a process of going through and just going ahead and doing all of it. And okay. Alrighty, continue forward doing the shadow work. Alright, so that's that. Get something like so. Get a little highlight and shadow going on. And you could even do one more pass on an even brighter highlight. So not absolutely necessary, but you could do it. I'm gonna leave that alone for now. This gets the point across of what to kind of do. Now the other thing you can do is take these, copy the layers, go into your library, create a smoke symbol, paste layers. In here, create a new layer, click and drag this over, and in the properties we can change the alpha to be slightly lower. So that's about 75%, and something like that. Get something that resembles smoke. And the other thing with this symbol is that if I were to change this to be a movie clip instead, have the alpha on there, but also apply a blur and adjust the blur to be a little bit higher, starts to give off a little bit more sense of smoke. So that's about that. That's all I got on smoke and flash. So hope you enjoyed.